Today, I want to talk about Lease End and does it really work? At the end of your lease term, there's always a decision to make. Do I need to turn it back in at the dealership? Can I trade it in? What about if I love my car and I just want to keep it? Well, Lease End helps you with that last option. You want to buy your car. And I just said at the end of your lease, but Lease End can actually help you before the end of your lease. You don't have to wait the full term of your lease contract to buy your car, which I had never known before, and I think that's great. Why use Lease End? Well, you can buy your car without even going to the dealership. 100% online, we can make it work. As you can see here, in 12 minutes, Lease End says we can actually find a loan for your car for you to buy it. What are some other options why we might want to buy our car? Have you gone on any long road trips? Or maybe you have long commutes every day and you're just over your mileage and you know you're going to have tons of fees at the end. Well, if you buy your car, it doesn't matter how many miles are on your car, no fees. Also, what if you have some scratches and some dents on the car? You know you're going to get dinged when you turn it in. Well, it's your car if you want to buy it, so you can buy it as is, no fees. They also take care of all the last minute details like the title, registration, plates. That could all be done online through Lease End. But what is this lease buyout? Remember that amount that they said your car would be worth when you turned in the lease? It's on your contract if you look. That is called your residue value. And that is what they will use here at Lease End. Maybe you're wondering also, well, what would my payments be? Do I really want to go through this whole process and my payments are not where I want them? Okay, this is the great part. Let's start. I'm going to kind of dig into Lease End website here a little bit now for you. Down here, right away when you click in, free lease buyout calculator. Pop it up. It's automatic. It takes a minute. It really is super fast. I'm going to walk you through it. It wants to know the state that you're living in. I love it there too. It's beautiful today. You do need your license plate number. So I'm going to type mine in. Oh, they already know. They already recognize me because I have already worked through Lease End before. But I'm going to tell you that it pops up instantly with a range that your car payments could fall on. Let's see if I can get through the application just so you can walk through how easy it is. The first part of what they were going to want to know is just some simple information about your car. And then they're going to ask you some questions about you too. Then they're going to go through all the loan options for you, and I will walk you through this and tell you about my experience. And then you can sign some documents right online. And that's it. It's super easy. But this first part, like I said, they said it takes 12 minutes. And I'll tell you kind of how long it took me as I go here. So it wants me to find my loan. First, you're going to put in, like you can see, your license plate and your state. It's going to know right away exactly the year and the make of your car, which is cool. You're just going to type in the mileage that your car is at today and the color. And then it's going to say, well, who is your lease payment through? And it already knew I have a Kia. So Kia was actually one of my options that they gave me on the screen. They gave me 3 main options, but it did say here are other options if it wasn't one of those 3, but it was Kia. And I typed it in. Now, the next part is what took me a little bit more than the 12 minutes because it wants you to now get your payoff amount. If you were going to buy your car today, what is the payoff amount on your lease of the car? I needed to go to Kia for that. Actually, the best part is Lease End. They actually show you step by step. They told me who to call at Kia Finance with the number. They told me what to say when the prompts came up, and I did all of that. Since I live in South Carolina, there is a law that says they won't tell me through Kia Finance. I have to do it locally. So that is was a little trickier for me because it was hard for me to get. And when I say hard, it wasn't hard, it was just a little time consuming because I had to call the dealership, wait for people to call me back. That actually did not work. I left 3 different messages. What ended up working really well for me was going onto the car dealership's website and sending in a little like on their contact form. I had somebody call me within 5 minutes when I reached out on that form on their website. So that's just a little trick for you if you need to do the same thing. And once I was able to get that number and punch it in, within seconds, it came up that said, "Great news! You are approved for a car loan." Oh, let me back up a little. I did have to put in some personal information about me and where I worked and my income with Social Security and date of birth to pull up your credit. So let me sorry, I need to back up there a bit. But then that's it. I mean, it literally, if I had that number, it would have been less than 12 minutes. Now it said, "We are going to contact you soon." I was like, okay. And then my phone dinged and I got a text from Lease End and it said, "We are going to look over everything and contact you soon." When they said that, I expected a day, within 12 minutes, I timed it. I got a text from a person and I was working with Trent. He was my financial advisor and he said, "I'm going to look over everything and I'm going to give you a call." I said, okay. 10 minutes later, he gave me a call. And he again said, "Great news. You have been approved for a car loan with TD Bank." I'm like, okay, great. He said, "Here's your payment. Here's the interest rate. Here's the how many months. He even gave me warranty options." I said, okay. I said, "That's a little higher than I want to pay." And he said, "Well, how about we extend the loan?" I said, okay. "How about, do you have any money to put down?" I said, "Maybe I do." And I told him, and he said, "We can work with all of this." And so he was super helpful. And one of the first questions he did ask me was, he said, "Do you know, Lisa, do you know how we work?" And I said, "Actually, yeah, I do." But he still kind of told me a few things. I thought that was really neat, that he wanted me to make sure that I understood what Lease End was doing and helping me with. At the end of the call, I said, "You know what? My lease isn't officially up for 3 more months. That gives me some time to think about if this is really what I want to do, if I want to buy it out." Um, and he said, "Okay, no problem. Here is my direct number. If you have any other questions, I'm going to put a note down to call you in a couple months to check in with you." I said, "Great." And that was it. The whole thing, from when I first came to leaseend.com until I hung up with Trent, took less than an hour. And if I would have said, "Yes, I want that loan," I know the rest of the process would have been timely. They would have sent you all your paperwork online, signed securely. Then, this is one of the best parts about Lease End. You can just sit back and relax. There's nothing else for you to do. You do not have to go to the DMV. So you just saved yourself a trip to the car dealership and to the DMV by doing it all online. They're going to take care of your title work and your registration and new plates if you need those. Everything is done. I just think that's anything I can do to not have to go to the car dealership or the DMV is just for me. So what also, I want to go back to like the loan. Also, if you ever go, when you buy a car, you lease a car and you're at the car dealership, the process is long, right? You're sitting there, you're waiting for the salesman to go to his boss, you're waiting for all the banks to get back to you. It all takes time. This was just a breeze. They search for your best loan rate. They find you the best deal for you, like fast. Like, who would not want to do that if you're going to buy out your car? So I guess that's your main decision, is if you want to buy out your car for the car lease from a car lease contract. And again, it doesn't have to be at the end of your lease. You can actually do it beforehand. Lease End is the way to go, I believe. So please give it a check out, leaseend.com. Thank you.